So going back to AEW and going back to what I said about the physiques, you know, when I watched to go for, for the main event to work with Cody in France, and I watched AJ versus LA Knight, and it's like both those guys look amazing. You can tell that, I mean, and their schedules, these guys are working, man. And they're getting in the gym, man. But on top of that, they're dieting their asses off. Like, I think Osprey's not fat by any means, not dialed in. He's just not chiseled. He's not AJ.
Mm-hmm.
He's not LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those guys, like most of the guys, on the WWE roster, look like you can tell they're putting they're putting the time in the gym. They're dieting. A lot of those guys have got buses and everything else, and they're fucking microwaving meals. It ain't like the guys on the other side ain't making the same amount of coin.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
get through. If some of you guys that aren't making the same kind of coin, you can still throw for you in a bus, make it a bunk bus like you would a rock and roll band. You can have your meals. You can have somebody else drive you. You can get your sleep. You can get your training in.
There's ways to do it other
To
than the
compete
bus
against.
too.
We fucking ate fucking handfuls of pills and shit. It was not. It's
Orndorff
very
didn't have a bus in '85,
no.
and he was, he was chiseled. There's ways to do it.
But I mean, at the same time, it's just like
The
I
schedule
would
isn't the same either.
no,
Close, right?
but I would in no way want to condone anabolic steroid use to somebody that isn't in the TRT category. And that's fucking, late 30s, early 40s that you start looking at TRT when your testosterone's down. We can't have 23-year-old kids taking shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to have heart attacks. I mean, that was the whole reason we had a wellness system, So, I mean, it's.
All right, Talking Shenanigans said, I'm just glad that KN is able to keep a subjective mindset, and thanks, Big Kev. So you're critical of WWE when you feel that they're doing something wrong.
I didn't like the Killings thing. I didn't like what they were doing with Ron.
Right.
It's just my opinion. It's just my fucking opinion.
Yeah, that's why
That's
people
all it
come
is,
here, though,
man.
for your opinion.
It's just like my vote. Like, man, the guy woke up next to me on the red eye from Phoenix to Atlanta. He woke up next to me and Morning Joe was on my television screen. You would have thought I was watching Nazi propaganda. He just kind of looked at me and then looked at my tattoo and looked at my hair and was kind of like, wow, I wouldn't picture that this guy was.
It would be
was yeah, we would be watching MSNBC.
MSNBC.
I'm like, I got a question.
Got an answer.
How come all those guys that they had as wrestlers had six packs of abs?
Because they have time to work out. They're renting a bus. They're pooling their money and getting a bus so they can cook healthily and work out. That'd be my guess. What I learned tonight. So
I think it's crazy that people, when they draw a wrestler, consider a certain body type, and then
to be an effective wrestler,
it's almost like Marvel, like when Stan Lee and that crew started all the
designing the superheroes, what they should look like.
Even the Hulk had abs.
Did indeed.
I was never much of an ab guy. I mean, but I always thought that my persona was more of an offensive lineman, defensive lineman type look of that era.
Did you lower the lights? You're getting darker as we speak. I know you spent some time in the sun today. You look a little like Dick Gregory to me right now. Not that that's not a bad thing.
Is that a
It's
bad?
absolutely fine.
Wow.
We have a live audience here tonight, and you can be part of that by going to clickthisTV.com.
My wife said to me today, she says, Brad, she goes, how much? She said, you haven't been in the sun in how long? I said, I've been in the sun 4 days. I went outside. I get a half hour of sun on the days that I go out. That's it. I use a sunblock, especially around where I had all that shit
That's a
burning.
half hour with sunblock?
Yeah. I am American Indian. I turn red.
You Red Cassidy is who you are, for Christ's sake.
I am Red Cassidy.
Got it.
I got my fucking hands red on my tomahawk.
In other wrestling news, Jeff Hardy is cleared to return to AEW. He's been cleared by his...
And he's also cleared to try out for American Idol.
I don't give a shit. I think the song is marketable. I think it sounds like what rock is today. Kevin sent me a music video of Jeff's that I liked. And then I made the mistake of clicking in to look at the rest of the music, and it didn't go the way I'd anticipated. But the one you sent me, I thought was marketable for today.
Well, why do you think I sent you that one?
To get me to drill down into the rabbit hole and go, oh,
No, I sent you what I thought was, something you would enjoy. Hoosiers.
Great wrestler.
Hoosiers. Tar Heels Hoosiers.
Your friend, we also heard about last week's show from Milk Carton 6654, who said concerning the Dear Sexy letter about the woman with the unhygienic kitchen. I've suffered deep depression before, and as a result have had the most disgusting kitchen you can imagine. In those days, never got sick from my cooking. I came away from this period of my life thinking people either underestimate our digestive system's capacity to deal with harmful bacteria or overestimate the capacity for harmful bacteria to get into our food.
Only takes one to die to make you fucking go to prison.
It was the cookie at work.
I don't want to. I'll pass. Yeah. I haven't washed my hands after wiping my ass in 7 years. I'm as healthy as a fuck. Nah, I'm good, man. I'm going to fucking scrub my hands after I wipe my ass.
Joseph Bile, 5'6".
Unless I'm making cookies for everybody in the office.
Then fuck them. I don't like half the pricks.
What are these, peanut butter?
How can you mention tax the corporations and corporate greed in the same sentence? We all know that if you raise taxes on corporations, they just raise the price of their products, so we still pay more. Joseph.
How can they? So, okay. They do that anyway. They're going to raise the price anyway. You better take the biggest cut you can when you can. You got to tax. We just went over this Shell Oil.
Yeah, this is the failed trickle-down economics theory from the 80s. It does not, it's a very simplistic theory, but it doesn't work because corporations continue to raise prices to chase the quarterly earnings, and they will do that as long as the quarterly earnings increase. But in a free market, Joseph, I love when we have the chance to educate, but Joseph, here's the thing. In a free market, the consumer does not have to buy the most pricey product because there's always a competitor on the same shelf as them who's figured out, if I could be a little more economical with my corporate structure or my bonuses or my facilities, I could actually charge less and get more market share. It was a respectful letter, missive, but the trickle-down doesn't work. It's been disproven. It's crashed and burned in the 80s, and it's never been proposed since then.
Obviously, they don't teach economics anymore.
People just don't listen. Would people even listen?